You know, it's funny. I was in a medical device career, still am, and I had the opportunity. Probably been in about 650 open hearts. And I remember when I was in Minneapolis one time at the Mayo Clinic, we were doing an open heart procedure, and the doctor said, "You know, Ben," and this was a minority person that was on the table. He goes, "You know, when you cut through the skin, we're all the same. And you look at the
Exactly.
vasculature, you look at the bones, it's all the same, whether you're rich or poor." And the last I checked, for
Exactly.
the billionaires, the multimillionaires, people say if they die, "Gee, I wonder how much they have." And the answer is a big fat zero. They have nothing. They don't take anything with
Right.
them. And all they can do is in this earth try to bless and honor other people. And if they're
Right.
evolved enough and if they're mature enough, they'll take that route. Because I've met the most rich and incredible people who had nothing, because
Hmm.
life taught them so many rich lessons that
Right. Right.
they turn out as very wise people.
Right. Right. Well, Ben, I've always said that, there's an old saying, and it goes, how something starts is how it ends, how you meet somebody. If you're meeting somebody a good way, if your relationship or friendship ends, it ends in a good way. So I look at it this way. I go, if you start off with nothing in life and you end up on your deathbed with nothing in life, you know, you're born with nothing, you take nothing with you. So the journey in between means nothing of materiality really has value. Nothing. So that's how I live my life. I'm not attached. I can give away my phones, my car, whatever I have given away. And I'm not a person who just says what I mean. I do what I mean. One of my big things about love is I always tell people, if you're going to say you love somebody, just show them love. The proof is in the action. The proof is in the taste of the pudding. Not, hey, I got this great salad, taste it. Okay, if I taste it and it's good, I'll say it's good to me. If it's tasted, it's not good, I'll say it's not good to me. That's my perspective. So that's what people should deal with is what is the person's actions? What's the worthiness of their actions? That I go by what you do, not by what you say. It's very important. Very
100%.
important.
In this society, we're very transactional, and sometimes
Mm-hmm,
we
mm-hmm.
really miss that bigger meaning. But I came across one of your posts that really struck me. It said, "Remember, you cannot rewrite what is written in the stars because you're a recycled stardust." And I just absolutely love that. And I want to get your thoughts on that.
Again, everybody. It's like, I don't know. It just sort of, self-evident. The universe goes by a set of immutable laws. Those immutable laws are written in mathematics. That's why I have great love for mathematicians like Einstein and Nikola Tesla. I wish I knew higher math, but everything is written down. Everything is formulaic. Everything is formulaic. So to me, see, a lot of people they just believe in certain things, and it's like, it's okay to believe, but you have to have knowledge. You see, the difference in belief and knowledge is the word belief has the word lie in it. And anytime a root word has something in it, a basic word like belief has the word lie in it, then I'm not going to deal with that. I have to have the experience. And my own experience has taught me that it's what I know that's important. And I don't know, I guess to answer your question, it's not an inevitability, like we doctors always say, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. I look at the more part of the suffering being optional. You look at something the way that your perspective shows you, as opposed to somebody else telling you, well, it's going to be this or it's going to be that. So um, again, if you understand, when man first worshiped a deity, so to speak, he worshiped Ursula Major. Ursula Major is Mother Bear. Mother Bear is feminine, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if man first worshiped God as a woman, then why are we worshiping God now as a man? I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying, understand knowledge, historical perspective. Once you understand historical perspective, put things in perspective, then you understand about the balance of divine masculine energy versus divine feminine energy. As opposed, one is not greater than the other, but one did come before the other. Okay, we know if the chicken came before the egg, because an egg itself cannot lay a chicken, but a chicken can lay an egg. We know this. Okay, so that's the belief versus the knowledge. So that's the kind of thing I was trying to say.
No, that's well articulated. It's funny when you think about whether it's poverty, whether it's race or racism. you know, I come from a scientific background where we have to go through the scientific method where you need data based on an N of 31 or 32 statistically significant or even
Yes, sir.
larger, right?
Yes, sir.
We're in the COVID era where, you know, chloroquine, right? It's not just let's go try it. You really got to test it to see what it's all about. But
Exactly.
what you said really struck a chord, because if I don't understand where you come from and your perspective and your experience and how that shaped your life, then my belief about your situation or my perspective about your situation is really about 2% accurate. Maybe it's maybe 1%. And it's really about getting relativity about your life, your experiences in this culture, in this society, about what's really happening for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important. So I came across another one of your posts when Kobe Bryant died, and certainly God rest his soul. That was I got to tell you, I was up at the up in Beverly Hills, and when I saw the news come across, I was stunned. But you had something interesting to say about you mentioned eternal life is the key, and what did you mean by this, and how should we think about death and grieving and what this meant for the for the world at large?
Again, okay. So that's an excellent question. So, to me, it goes something like this. Okay, so we know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's one of one of the laws. And I was struck by people saying, we'll never see the face of Kobe Bryant again on this earth. But I said, but we will see the face of Kobe Bryant again in the universe. And what I meant by that is that if you think about it, this life that we have here, this is a trial. You get a 70, 80, or 90-year-old trial, 100-year-old trial, maybe 110-year-old trial. And based on what you do, then that consciousness at the end of your life goes on. And instead of being that pound of hamburger that's solid, now you're the pound of hamburger that's shredded. So you have more surface area, so you will affect more people. You will be around more people. So the consciousness of Kobe Bryant, when he was alive versus when he's dead, guess what? It's greater, right? So you got to look at that. Is that there's a book called The Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I urge people to go out and get a Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it teaches you about how to prepare for death. I have a saying. I have 2 birthdays. I have an Earth birthday, and I'll have a gateway birthday. My gateway birthday will be the day that I transition. Isn't that beautiful to think about it like that? Like, okay, I have 2 birthdays, an Earth birthday, and I have a heavenly birthday, okay? And they're both in the same thing of the non-time, which is called eternity. When I thought about that, I felt, wow, this is beautiful. I don't fear death. I have a song out called I'm Not Afraid. And I go through what I'm not afraid of. And like, for instance, right now, during this crisis that people are going through right now, I tell people, do not be afraid, okay? False evidence appearing real, okay? If you're afraid, your immune system is going to go down. You're going to stress. Your cortisol is going to go up. You're going to have your heart rate's going to go up. Your breathing rate's going to go up. Your immunity is going to go down. So you become more susceptible to whatever's out here. So keep your frequency high. The earth frequency is vibrating high. Vibrate with the earth. Vibrate with the universe. The universe vibrates at 432 hertz. I'll do all my music 432 hertz. And it makes a big difference, because if I'm vibing with the universe, whose number is 9, or the number of completion, then it's a beautiful situation. I told my daughter once, I said, I don't compete, I complete. She said, what do you mean? Well, so the difference between compete and complete is L. It's about love. Everything comes back, it sounds trivial, everything comes back to love. Okay, everything comes back to love. So I don't fear. We are one of 8.5 million species, Ben. One of 8.5 million. Okay? And we have to understand our place in this universe. We have to understand that we're going to have 2 birthdays. It's going to be a beautiful situation. I love going to the cemetery to visit my son, because I see certain groups, certain cultural groups, whom I won't name, but they party at the cemetery. They have anniversaries at the cemetery. They celebrate holidays. It's like, you never die. You really never die. You think about it. My son's been dead for 8 years. Every year we celebrate his birthday, every July. And I wear this every day. This is Miyagi. He was my 8th child. He died of brain cancer. He's still alive. I talk to him all the time. We talk all the time, you know?
That's beautiful.
Right now,
Jill, that's beautiful.
Right now, Ben, there are millions of spirits right around you and right around me right now, okay? We just have to tap into them, okay? Because they are we and we are they, period, you know? And you know, we're all one. I am you and you are me. And once we understand it, even though we don't like President Trump's politics, people are gonna hate me for saying this, he's still one of us. It's not a they, it's a we, okay?
Right.
It's a we thing, okay? And as long as we understand it's about we, and we understand that there's a life, but there's also a death, but that death opens up a greater life, okay? Personally, I believe in reincarnation, so this is my first, second, third time around. I'm coming back again and again and again. And, you know, it's almost been proven that your consciousness does not die when you die. If that's the case, why are we still talking about dinosaurs who left here 66 million years ago? It's in somebody's consciousness, right? Their consciousness didn't die. It's in us, okay? So your consciousness doesn't die, you know? The physical form dies, but the soul, the spiritual force, it doesn't die. It's always alive, always.
What do you think it is about most people and their fear of death? Because what you just said is spot on, right on. I think, you know, when we came in this earth, we didn't know it. And I would argue once you die and that event happens, I understand the brain is still active for a few minutes, but it's not like we're gonna, you know, the fear of death is really worse than what the reality of it is. So
right.
Sort of talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, my own personal feeling is that we fear death because of the loss of materiality. Think about it. Nobody's going to hug me anymore. Nobody's going to kiss me anymore. I can't drive my car anymore. I can't walk anymore. All things I can't do. What about all things you can do? Now you can roam the heavens. Now you can be with all the trees. Now you can know what everybody's thinking you're doing all at one time. You know, everything's instantaneous. That's beautiful. To me, that's, you know, I mean, and like I say, I'm still talking to my son. I talk to my mom. I talk to my dad. I talk to people that I've been close to. You know, when you're thinking of somebody, they're contacting you. So anytime you randomly think about somebody, their conscience is saying, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Okay? Think about it. Why would you just think about somebody all of a sudden? Because they're calling you every day. You have to be aware. You have to be conscious. You have to be awoke. And I'm awoke. I'm constantly talking, you know, to people who've been gone, you know. I mean, heck, as far as I talk to the trees, I talk to the grass. I talk, you know what? When I'm walking down, sometimes I'm walking, I'll look down and the rock will say, pick me up. I'll pick it up, go, okay, what's going on, rock? You know, I'm serious. See, everything has consciousness, but we've been taught just the opposite. Oh, you know, we're this, we're that. Wait a minute, we're part of nature, and everything is part of us, and we're part of everything else. If you look at all the constituent minerals that we're made up of, may be worth about $1, but you cannot put a price on human life or love. Even though if you break down all of our biochemicals, it's about maybe $1, you know. But again, it's the materiality that makes people fear death. Okay. All the material things that they're not going to do anymore, okay? All the attachments they're not going to have anymore. Come on now, please, you know?
Yeah.
You know, everything comes and everything goes. One thing you can say that you know about life is that there's always change. That's the one constant thing about life, it's change.